that we have lined up for today, Ascendance versus the Coven. First map will be Hanamura. And let's see what kind of team comps we're looking at here today. I still can't get over the winter update. I love it so much.
Yeah, I really like it for the
so
maps
nice.
too. Like it's so beautiful. Hanamura.
I honestly wish this was like an all-year thing and not just for Christmas, but I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, I wish you can keep it all year round. Anyways, so the Coven is attacking first.
Vape coming in
Oh,
on
that's
the attack door.
They have Senpai on main tank.
Well, if I remember correctly, she's no stranger to main tanking.
Yeah, she does play some main tank. She's an overall flex player.
And this time, Blueberry is actually going to strut the Zarya.
He does have some time with Zarya.
It's like Pharmacy coming out for the defense, along with Poetic on that soldier.
We're seeing a Symmetra on the side of Coven.
Yeah, Vape switching from the Torb to that Symmetra.
He does play a lot of Symmetra. America Bang Bang
America
on the Junkrat.
On the coveted and also stylish Junkrat. Signature rat. Fire Strike doesn't catch anything for that early charge. They're choosing to go up top. Interesting. The teleporter doesn't go that far when you're up that high, but you teleport through. Only two players, only Vape on the Sim and the Lucio. Junkrat does fall early, as does the Symmetra. That's both DPS down, and that'll be a reset for the offensive side.
Ultimate, 2 picks.
Late staggers onto both the tanks. Vape switching over to the Rhine. And Trella this time switching over to the Widow. Just trying to find an early pick. Trying to find the right angle. Not able to get anyone yet. Ryan does charge in. But the clutch bubble keeping him alive. As I say that, he does fall though. Trades being evened out for the moment. Mercy does manage to get the res off. And potential back cap, but unfortunately not able to grab the first tick.
Yep,
and Kojo might be a late stagger. Yep. Has not managed to get out.
They're switching up. Call difference and switch to Winston and Trella on Sombra now. So they're gonna
Vape also switching over to that D.Va, looking for a full dive here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, pseudo dive. That's right.
Possibly to contest the soldier in the high ground. Because he's going uncontested from here. Great positioning.
Monkey unfortunately jumps in. Doesn't manage to catch anything. Pyre does catch the Reinhardt. Transcendence comes out to keep the Mercy alive as she makes the res. Both support ults out for the defense though. Soldier just raining bullets from above. Does catch the Junkrat. More ults being used on the defensive side. And it looks like they're able to hold for the moment. A lot of ults coming out on both sides though. America switching over, well, a lot of switches, excuse me, coming from the side of Coven. America switching over to that soldier, Llama switching off to the Mercy actually, and Kojo switching off the Brig going over to that Lucio. You gotta figure this will be their last potential team fight. Blueberry does have that grab though. Walton does fall early on that Zenyatta. Let's see if Bats is gonna go for the res. Doesn't go for it. Man advantage so far in favor of the defense. As I say that, the grab comes in and they're able to clean it up. It's just Baby Diva. And unfortunately, a huge stagger for the Coven. Team kill does come out. And less than 20 seconds left on this first attack. Let's see if they're going to be able to get to the point in time. Karma Rage does come out. Let's see if Falcon responds. The Ryan pin does come in. Overtime ticks in. Mercy does fall for the offensive side. Winston as well. EMP comes out. EMP bomb combo. Unfortunately, doesn't catch anything. Shatter catches the Lucio. And I think this will be a solid full hold from the defense of Ascendance.
Yes, that's gonna be a full hold for Ascendance. So what do you think the Coven has to do to hold us?
To be honest, they might have to pull out some kind of cheeky strat, or just maybe something that they've been working on, whether it be a cheese strat, or just a niche pick like say a May to keep the main choke, and potentially try to wall people off, catch them off guard. It's gonna have to be something good.
Well, we are seeing the Symmetra. Come on, again.
Yep, Vape on that sim. America, her signature, Junkrat. Kyle, I assume. I was gonna say maybe the Zarya, but does opt for the Diva.
To us all, I miss him greatly.
We're seeing Reinhardt and Roadhog coming out from the Ascendance side.
Ascendance choosing that interesting tank combo. It does work sometimes, but let's see if it works out for them this time around. Poetic on that Tracer.
As well.
Hook comes out, doesn't manage to catch anyone. Charge comes in, and he gets the early pick onto America.
Oh, that's already 2 picks.
That's already both DPS.
Yep. And there goes the
and
main
main tank.
And the main healer.
Mercy
yep, that's
does fall,
right
trying to res the main tank. And that is a very quick first push from Ascendance.
One push is all they need to get this. Ascendance 1-0.
I feel like if Trella hadn't gotten the early pick onto, if Senpai hadn't gotten the early pick onto America, they probably would have fared a little bit better. But just because the fact that the pick came so quickly, I think that was just kind of the unfortunate fall for the team there on that defense. And just like that, Ascendance go up 1-0 in the series. Foxy Grandpa coming in for Nighthawk though. And he is their other Masters player. So they're still good. Seems that we're just waiting for both teams to confirm that they're ready.
Looks like,
Looks, they probably want Definity in for Fate 8.
but Definity's not in this lobby right now.
And I'm pretty sure Definity's not in the game roster. Nope.
If he isn't, then
He's
yeah, they're not
not.
allowed.
Yeah, nope. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell him he can't play Definity.
Yeah, they only sent 6, so yeah, unfortunately, even if someone else does join, like you mentioned, they're not able to play. Yeah, the only one that would be able to join is the Indica Man.
Yeah, they're gonna have to stick with this roster. So we're gonna go.
Okay.
It's just the people that are in the lobby that can play for them. The only sub is the end they come in, and
Yeah, they should have thought about that whenever they sent the
they
roster
really
in.
should have. This is why, as for our team, we usually just list everyone on the roster. For this reason exactly. Looks like Trella will be playing the Widow.
Yep, we know he has flexed over to that Widow before
And
on
Faith Ape is
Widow-friendly
now
maps, or
on
at
the
least
Reinhardt.
points.
Don't think I've seen him play Rein. Oh, main tank.
He did this last map.
I've seen him play Orisa, but not Reinhardt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't really get his perspective too much on the Reinhardt, but he seems to be their other at least main tank player because, as you mentioned, he does play Orisa. Kyle on the Diva, the running line Diva, it looks like, for this attack. Orisa and Hog for the defense of Ascendance. Foxy Grandpa on that, flexing onto that Hog. And Senpai swapping to the Junkrat. Poetic on that Hanzo. I've never seen Senpai play Junkrat, so I'm very curious to see how this plays out for them.
Oh, Simpa does play Junkrat, yeah. He plays a lot.
She does, okay, interesting.
Yep. She's a pretty good Junkrat.
Oh, let's see how the defense holds for them. Junkrats on both sides. Early pick
That's a
onto
really good play,
Lucio.
but he will get
And a
res.
very early res. Hook comes out, doesn't catch anyone. As I say that, it wasn't enough damage to kill Marika.
I'm taking care.
Kyle switching over to Zarya. Line charge comes in, doesn't get anything, does fall before it even fully, the animation fully goes through. That'll be a soft reset for the offense. A late stagger onto the Lucio, unfortunately, for the Coven. Margaret comes out, doesn't manage to catch anything. Hog goes into the back line, does catch Marika. Hanzo ult comes out, doesn't manage to
And
catch
that's gonna
anything,
be a reset for
unfortunately.
Coven. Oh, I'm not.
Hoggle, a late whole hog comes out, but does manage to catch
I'm not
the.
sure about that. Whether that the only one that was.
A very risky res by Bats, but he does get it off. Hook comes out. Doesn't manage to get the break.
Here comes the Riptide now from Senpai.
Riptire does come out. Does get two. Huge Riptire from Senpai. And gets the third onto that brig. And there'll be another reset for the Coven. Both teams just kind of feeling each other out. Less than a minute and a half to go for the offensive side. Stun comes through, but not a lot of follow-up, and Trella unfortunately does fall. America Bang Bang choosing to get that Junkrat ult, and it does get taken out, unfortunately. Ascendance does come out. Beat comes out, Grab comes out, only manages to catch one, but that's full support. It's down for the defense. Another Riptire coming out for Senpai does catch the Lucio, and they will manage to hold. Blueberry solo ulting that Zarya. Still a bit questionable because he could have had more value out of it, but he does use it. Trella switching over to the Pharah.
America now on the Roadhog, so they're going triple tank.
Triple tank with Trella on that. That Pharah does fall, unfortunately, as Poetic does manage to get the kill. Hanzo comes out, does manage to catch one.
They don't have a main healer. They're healing with two offhealers. And triple tank.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, Senpai.
And now they
do
have
bats.
Mara. So it's clearly they're going for ghosts with only 8 seconds left.
It's a bit of a questionable call.
They should
That
go
pulls
a lot sooner in my opinion.
about
Yeah. Way too
the
late
halt
to
comes in
go.
clutch. Yeah.
They should have tried ghosts a lot sooner.
Yeah, generally you see most teams run out with the goats and then switch after that. Or even after maybe a first or maybe a first, second, third push at most of the comp that they're running and it's not working, then they switch to it, but unfortunately,
they didn't have enough time
unfortunately
to even
Coven's
get to the
switching way too
point.
late.
We're seeing Blueberry on the Widow now.
Blueberry on the Widow, Senpai on the Doomfist.
Yep, she does play Doomfist too. Actually, one of the
He
better
does have very
Doomfists in the
good
league.
pick potential.
Be sure to stretch before engaging in the rigorous physical activity. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I love how Walton says, ignore my bot Transcendence. Trella on the Reinhardt.
Much obliged.
Kojo this time on that Hanzo.
5, 4, 3.
Vape Ape switching over to the Moira. Interesting, we'll see how this plays out for them, the roll switches here. Bang Bang able to pick off the brig early. Bar charge comes in, doesn't manage to catch anything. Both Zarya's very high charged here. America does manage to catch off the Moira. Riptire comes in. Does get two
Nice
in
double.
the spawn. And now they do know that Senpai is on that Pharah. They don't have a hit scan outside of the Hanzo. Let's see if this swap will pay out.
No one can hide from my sight.
Sights does come out from Blueberry. Hammer down does come out, does get two, and manages to catch Poetic. Counter charge comes in, doesn't fall though. Counter shatter gets three. Both Ryans do fall. Grab Dragons comes out, a bit of a questionable grab there. Mercy does pop Valk, does manage to get Trello rezzed up. Would have liked to have seen them potentially keep the grab. Grab does come out. Tyre does catch one. America does get two picks actually. Does get three. Managing to keep the defense alive for the moment. She does fall
I will
unfortunately.
go to the Coven.
Charla does get rezzed up. Hanzo does get staggered, unfortunately. Numbers advantage and spawn advantage do go in favor of the offense. Senpai does have the barrage. Let's see if she's able to get any value out of it. Blueberry switching over to the Tracer. Justice comes out. Fortunately, does get picked off. Shadow comes out, doesn't manage to catch anyone. Dragons comes out, trying to zone people off the point. Does work for the moment. Both TPS down, but I think that will be the cap for the offense. No one can get there in time. That one was closer, but Ascendance does take them out 2-0 up in the series now.
Play of the game. Cease your resistance.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Ooh, excuse me. Alright. See if we have any adjustments coming out from both teams. Alright, DJ does come in for Poetic. Looks like that'll be all the swaps. Let's see, map 3 being Elios. I imagine there will probably be Pharmacy on both sides, or at least a Widow. And the command being swapped in for Vape. Double check and make sure we're still good here. Yeah, the command is good. Alright. I believe both teams are good. I'm expecting a lot of Widow and Pharmacy on this map, considering both teams have shown that they're willing to run it. Especially with Ruins being the first map of the three. Widow very strong on this map in particular. DJ coming out on that Doomfist. They're gonna run the Rhine Zarya with Blueberry on the Zarya. Senpai potentially coming out on the Symmetra.
Ready for battle. I sometimes wonder if all that armor slows you free.
And Walton on the Torbjorn. I don't know that that comp will hold out, but we'll see.
No, that's just spawn shenanigans.
That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see.
I'll be surprised if he stays on the tour and because Soyo. Oh, yep,
Nope,
there.
he does switch off to the Lucio. Senpai does switch over to the Ashe. Trella rocking that Tracer.
We're seeing dive on the side of Coven.
Yep.
Going to sprawl. Two different teams.
America does find the pick on to Walton, but she does get traded out. Bats, unfortunately, I think was not, or Trello, excuse me, I think was not, unfortunately, able to, or Llama, jeez, can't read. Mercy was not able to res America, unfortunately. Trello does fall, Senpai managing to catch him out. Kyle does fall. An early grab comes out, manages to get 3. Follow-up was there. First fight goes over to Ascendance. First capture percentage. There are 3 ults though coming out for the side of Ascendance. Senpai does have that Bob. America does have Retire. See when DPS choose to use it. An early Valk comes out. Coalescence comes out in response. Full support's being used for the offense, for the side of Coven. DJ does get Kojo off the map. Both tanks down for the Coven. Into command, able to boop Foxy Grandpa off the map as well. But fortunately still not enough of a presence in this team fight for the Coven. That'll be a late stagger onto into command.
This is my will.
Tire does come out. Nurka choosing to not go after the Doomfist that was right in front of her. But she does catch Senpai. The Dynamite does catch out Llamas though. Just managed to stagger them. And just noticed Senpai did use that Bob. Not sure if that Bob was as much value as probably had hoped, but it did work out for them in the end. Grab comes out, only gets the Winston, but does die immediately. Meteor Strike does get 2. Diva Bomb comes out from Kojo, doesn't manage to catch anyone, unfortunately. Sound barrier up for the Ascendance. Kyle does pop Primal Rage, does get to the point, trying to swing this team fight back in their favor. Overtime ticks in. Beat does get used. Only catches a couple though. Trella this time on the Genji. Retire comes out. America fortunately does fall. Huge fire strike. And the picks going in favor of Ascendance. And 100-0 on Ruins for Ascendance. One more map and they take the series.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle. Together, we are strong.
Looks like we're gonna see ghosts. Yeah, ghosts. An interesting
Goats.
combination
It's
of
with
ghosts.
the Roadhog. Yeah.
Yeah, with Orisa and
The
Hog.
Roadhog and Orisa.
It's a very unique.
Well, Orisa
for
and
ghosts.
Hog are fairly decent on this map point particularly.
Let's see if this works out for them.
Senpai switching over to the Genji. Well, does get the early pick onto Llamas. 2 supports down for the Coven. America does ball on that Hog. And that'll be a team fight win for their Ascendance. Oh. And the command being... It was caught out on that Lucio, and this is a huge stagger. Very, very late stagger, unfortunately, for the Coven.
Time to accelerate!
Strong as the mountain.
My ultimate is ready to be unleashed.
Essence comes out for Ascendance. Meteor Strike as well. Doesn't manage to kill anyone. But Kojo will fall. Grab Shatter combo gets everyone else outside of that Lucio. And unfortunately, another late stagger onto Indica Man. Senpai does have Blade though. See if she's able to get a lot of value out of it. They did use grab this last fight, so they won't have anything to really combo with it. Meanwhile, 2 support ults, almost 3, almost actually 4 ults, excuse me, coming out for the Coven. 2 early picks though, and they will be forced to retreat. They have one more team fight if they're able to regroup and not stagger out any more than they already are. Ascendance just pushing them back to spawn. Kojo fortunately does fall off the map. Grab coming out of spawn, everything else being used, and it looks like this will be another clean 100-0 win. 2-0 in the map, 3-0 in the series is Ascendance.
Play of the game.
Very dominant performance by Ascendance in this map.
Agreed. Second map wasn't as dominant as we probably expected, considering how things went, but it still was a win nonetheless.
Yeah, the lighthouse was all Ascendance.
That's 3-0 to Ascendance in the series. Let's see if the Coven will be able to bounce back with Junkertown being the last map. Looks like we will have a few substitutions coming in. Poetic comes in for DJ. Looks like Vape Ape will also be coming back in for the Coven. Ooh, unfortunately, Indica Man was watching the stream, it seems. Therefore, he is ineligible for the rest of the game.
Wait, who was it?
Apparently, Indica Man. According to America and Trella, both of them mentioned that he was apparently watching the stream and they were unaware.
Welcome to Junkertown. Initiating match.
Trella, insta-logging that Widow. This map is very good for snipers. And we also know a lot of people like to run the pirate ship strat, or even sometimes a bastion with, say, like a Torb or even a Sim. So this map is very, very uh, hero pool friendly, especially for people who want to pick out any niche characters or anything to that extent. 4 DPS coming out for the Coven. I don't think that they'll stick with that. I would assume that America and Trella will probably stick on to the roles that they're on, and that Kyle and Vape would switch.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
DJ comes out on the Sombra, Nighthawk on the Junkrat, Poetic with the Zarya, Senpai on that Rhine. DJ should be able to keep the Bastion in check once they know what comp they're running.
3, 2, 1.
And it looks like they're sticking with it. The 4 DPS strat. America does fall very early. Lava soon follows. Poetic does fall, but does get rezzed up. And it almost seems as if the Coven have just given up, considering this comp that they're running. Yeah, they've given up.
A lot of
They're all
Llamas. Llamas got
DPS.
2 picks there.
They did get 2 picks, and they do have spawn advantage. As I say that, the rest of the team is falling. Unfortunately, Llamas does fall though. They are able to push the payload. Kojo does fall. Nighthawk, let's see if he's able to get away with his life. Tracer is on him. He is close to that Riptire. Senpai charges America off the map. Does die, but they do take care of that Bastion. Everyone falling for the side of the Coven. But they do have quite a few ults coming out for the defensive side. Nighthawk could potentially pull out the tire. DJ does have that EMP. EMP comes out, only manages to get a couple. But Shat, 3 ults being used there. A very questionable Transcendence. Charlie uses Pulse Bomb, doesn't manage to catch anything. Vape switching over to the Symmetra instead of that Mei. Tank ult comes out, does get DJ, does get Walton as I say that. 2 picks for America. Transcendence comes out, keeping everyone else alive. Tire does only catch 1. And seems to be working for the offense. Dragons comes in. And they are able to cap first point.
Only place for Omnix in Junkertown is on the scrap heap. Consider yourself warned.
Not gonna lie, I'm very surprised. They do have the DPS output though, but they do lack the tank presence, and in all honesty, Zenyatta's not the best of healers. Solo healing, it can work, but he's generally not your first choice. But it is working for them. Grab comes out, does catch a few, and everyone else will fall. EMP does come out a bit late and a bit unnecessary. You probably would have liked to have saved that EMP. But they do win the team fight. Trella switching over to the Hanzo. I'm sorry, not the Hanzo, the Torbjorn. Walton does fall. Bat able to get the res off. Bat does fall, unfortunately. Tank ult comes out for America. Pick's being traded out at the moment. Tire being used. Doesn't catch anyone. Does fortunately die. And they're able to cap second point. I am mind blown that this comp is working, but it is working for them. Excuse me, Sim ult does come out. A very questionable Sim wall, but we use it. Dragons comes out. Doesn't manage to catch anyone. Potentially a zoning ultimate there. DJ falling late. Nighthawk unfortunately going to be staggered as well. Shatter comes out, does get a few. EMP combo comes in as well. And that'll be a team fight win for the defense. And I didn't notice, but Trella also did use that Molten Core. Unfortunately, doesn't get anyone. America already close to another tank ult for Bastion. Grab does come out. Only manages to get Bastion. Does fall. Senpai does fall, unfortunately, as well, mid-charge. And Kyle getting 3 picks on that Hanzo. Nearing his Dragon ultimate. Transcendence, unfortunately, not able to keep Kyle alive. Poetic now switching over to that Tracer. Senpai swapping over to Virisa. Both support ults coming out. Just managed to keep everyone alive. Dragons came through spawn. Didn't manage to catch anything, unfortunately. And another solid hold from the defense. Offense only needs a little bit more distance to go. Nighthawk switches over to the Mei. They're running triple DPS here. They don't have an off tank.
30 seconds.
Very interesting defensive setup. We do finally get a second support. Charles switching over. Does res America bang bang, but America does fall. Once again, unfortunately. Wade comes out from DJ. Hasn't managed to catch anything yet, but the team fight was won. And the defense will hold just before point 3 capture.
Score 0-2. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Looks like Ascendance willing to run with a triple DPS again. Potentially thinking that the defense of the Coven coming out with more DPS. But a very standard comp for the Coven. Fape switching over to the Orisa, Kyle and the Diva, Trella choosing that Widowmaker. Very standard comp from the defense. Red Hawk seemingly wanting to switch off the soldier, switches over to the Junkrat. And Senpai this time, switching off the Orisa, goes to that Zenyatta. And Walton switches, goes on to that Reinhardt. See if the solo tank comp will work for them. Oh, it does fall early. America does fall shortly after. Kojo able to get the res off, but the Orisa and Kojo does fall as well. And the offense just kind of steamrolling at the moment. Pin does manage to catch the Diva. And I believe that should be first point cap. Trella switches over to the Mei. Kojo switches over to that Moira. Trella trying to stall as long as possible, but will fall immediately after healing up. The cryo freeze. Recall does get forced out. Orisa does fall, unfortunately. Pulse Bomb gets eaten. Walton does get the charge onto the Diva, and the Diva does fall. And the defense just breaking, it seems. Shatter and Blade being used there. I like the potential ult combo there, but considering there was only a couple people there, you probably didn't need both of those ultimates. Kyle switching off to the Hog. They do have Beat coming up though for the defense. Kojo switching off to the Brigitte. Double off heals. Let's see how this plays out for them. Tyre does come out. Doesn't manage to catch anything. Trella does catch them out when casting it. DJ picks up Llamas, but he does fall. Coalescence comes out, just keeping everybody alive. Trella does fall. Moira does fall as well for the offense. America, their tire does come out, but does fall unfortunately. Bomb does come out, doesn't catch anything, but does force the Transcendence out from Senpai. Managing to keep everyone alive for the moment. Huge Shatter comes out, does get 3. Blade comes out again as well. And that will be game, ladies and gentlemen. 4-0 for Ascendance.
Play of the game.
So, with the match being over, who do you have for MVP?
I'm gonna have to go with Senpai for Ascendance and how much he's flexing the game.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Senpai flexing off to the different roles, but doing very solid. Overall, for the Coven, I would probably say America?
Either America or Kyle Difference. Kyle Difference did
Or
flex.
Kyle. Yeah, they both did flex as well.
So either one for Coven.
Yeah, I agree as well.
That should do it.
But that'll do it. 4-0 in favor of Ascendance.